baby, yeah!
What's going on, everybody? So what happened in Versus Chapter 29 is we got to focus on Roya Roach, the 38th Demon Lord, and her battle against the robots. Now, in my opinion, this chapter really gave the robots a chance to shine, okay? And I'm going to explain why.
Spit that shit out, man!
What we see from Roya Roach, as opposed to what we've seen from other demon lords, is that Roya Roach doesn't necessarily have demon executives similar to Dinganenzal, possibly Nayudo, but most certainly Jachi. Okay, they've had demon executives, people who they appoint who are substantially stronger than your common demon. However, Roya Roach only has her children as her army or minions, or individuals that she tasks for battle. So she's using her children to fight the robots, and apparently for Roya Roach, these robots are coming in waves. So I'm not entirely sure what the circumstances were that made the artificial intelligence send basically armies of robots to this particular location, but Roya Roach is getting it the way we've never seen it before from the robots, right?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And not only not only is she getting waves and waves of robots to basically go and exterminate her and her children, but the artificial intelligence is also sending natural enemy obliteration units. And these are robots that have adapting capabilities, and they have specialized armory and weaponry that is capable of putting up a really good fight against a demon lord. Now remember, she's the 38th, so she's a little bit on the weaker side when it comes to the demon lords, but nonetheless, she is a demon lord. But what we see in this chapter is these special unit robots, they have the capability of inflicting damage on this demon lord, and doing so in a way that surprises the demon lord, and this robot essentially adapts during their battle. And what I mean by that is the artificial intelligence literally sends repair parts and adaptive weaponry during the battle. I mean, it's literally receiving these upgrades after a strike, or after a combination, or after taking a certain kind of damage. Like, it is really impressive, you guys. Like, and then not only that, the athleticism that this robot shows is far superior than what we've seen from like the Navia robots or the Ram robots or the Tortoise robot. Like, this robot literally has the capability of delivering blows that we would see from a human, or a demon, or a titan, or something of that nature. So they're a lot more human-like, but they have these capabilities and these weaponries that are really, really impressive.
Yes! That's awesome!
Now, one thing that I did find disappointing from Roya Roach is, again, unlike what we've seen with other demon lords, Roya Roach has a release form, and apparently she has a burst form, but all it is her making clones of herself. She doesn't have like a transformation. She doesn't have a different look, a different appearance. It's literally just her cloning herself. So, take that for what you will. I wasn't very impressed by it. I think that her look could have stood for a transformation, something to make her look cooler and whatnot. However, the author probably just decided that she wasn't important enough. This battle probably wasn't important enough. And if anything, they probably just wanted the robots to get more shine in this battle. And, kind of use the weaker demon lord as a tool to show how impressive the robots can be. And I'm fine with that, but it wasn't impressive on the demon side. Okay, I gotta be honest about that. Now, another thing that we see in this chapter 29, is Nayudo. Nayudo is constantly going back with communication with Roya Roach as well as Jachi, because Jachi apparently is still at the Factory 5. He was confronted by another robot, which is where we understand that these particular robots are obliteration units for the natural enemies that are now present since all the worlds have joined. So the artificial intelligence is adapting to the new enemies. They're aware of the enemies, adapting to them, making units specifically to exterminate these new enemies. So it's really impressive. However, Jachi is showing a flaw that I think is going to be his downfall at some point during the story. So one thing I'm noticing with Jachi is very prideful. He's basically saying when something presents itself as really strong, you just need to be stronger and, you'll always come out on top. However, I think with this artificial intelligence and its ability to make new weapons and be never ending, I don't think that is a smart approach. I think that the artificial intelligence will make a robot that is capable of causing Jachi harm, or if Jachi doesn't come across another enemy such as Gimbok, who's probably significantly stronger than him, and he's just going to get either beat up or he's going to get killed, So I really like Jachi as an antagonist and as a character, but I do see that flaw that I think can be his downfall in the future, because he was attacked by another one of the robots. Now, granted, again, I don't know how much data the robot could have received from battling Jachi, because all Jachi did was just throw a punch. So other than maybe measuring the power level of the impact of the punch received, it's not getting any data on speed, on transformation, anything like that, because Jachi is so strong he doesn't have to do any more than just a quick blow. So I don't know how much data the robots or the artificial intelligence are literally getting from battling Jachi, but it did have a full-on battle with the Demon Lord, Roya Roach, and I'm sure was able to collect data from that battle. And I think as they move down the ladder of the Demon Lords, they're going to continue to have level ups when it comes to the robots. So again, I think this chapter was a really good way for the robots to get some shine. I think that they looked really cool. It was a really exciting chapter. I was very happy with it. I liked the page amounts. I don't think it was too low. I don't think it was too high. I don't think it could ever be too high, but it was definitely sufficient enough. So that was chapter 29 in a nutshell, guys. I think it was like, if I were to rate it, I would say that this chapter was like an 8 out of 10. I was really impressed by what we saw from the robots. I cannot say that enough. Okay, well, that's my summary of chapter 29. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about this chapter. Do you think that the robots have moved up the ladder in your own rankings for the enemies? Do you still think they're pretty low? Maybe in the future we could talk about, some matchups between the enemies that we would find impressive or interesting, and we'll go from there. But I'll leave you guys with that. This is Anime Love, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.